First impressions, mega. Absolutely mega. It really feels like you're driving something from the future, and this interior for sure, this bright white interior, emphasizes that even more. It just looks so futuristic and so space age, which is what it is. And everything is pointing towards this massive infotainment system here, which is just, at first, it's quite daunting because there's so much on it. It's just such a focal point of the cockpit of the car. But I just don't understand why manufacturers of luxury and supercars and hypercars, I don't understand why they don't even get close to this. This is just on a different level. But just not just how big it is and how easy it is to use, but just with the design. This is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It's how a car like this should be. And one thing that is so instant is the speed. It's just crazy, really crazy how fast this car is. I've demonstrated to a couple of people, and you have to warn people because it will hurt your neck. It's as fast as a Ferrari or a P1 or a 918 up to about 60 miles an hour, and it's going to do it every time with this four-wheel drive as well. It's bonkers. It's absolutely nuts. The dynamics of the car, it's so weird because you've got this incredible instant speed, really incredible, and then you get to a corner, you have to remember that it's a very heavy car. But what you lose in the corners, you certainly make up for when you get out of the corner. It's brutal, really brutal, and the traction just, it gets it down so easily. The roads are dried out now, but we're in the UK and we've had really damp, wet roads here the last few days. But every single time you put your foot down, you get a little bit of a squirmish, sometimes if it's very, very wet and slippery with some leaves. But now, with dry roads, it just plants itself and all of the traction gets down so easily. But you have to remember, you're driving a 4-seater, 5-seater family wagon. Let me show you the acceleration. This is just, honestly, it is absolutely nuts. And ready, 3, 2, 1. Oh, that hurt my head actually. That hurt my head. I think it would actually be quite cruel to accelerate flat out without telling your passenger you're about to do it. In fact, I'm going to get Tom in the car shortly and I'm going to try that. Not to be cruel, just to prove a point. Tom, I need you a sec. Come with me. I just want to try something with you. Tom, I want to talk to you about filming the next project. I just want to get some ideas on what you think we should do and where we should go.
Okay.
Favourite car and all that sort of stuff. Actually, I wanted to surprise you with some of this acceleration. What do you think?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. If you're not prepared for it,
which you weren't, no. And I'm only doing this as an experiment, not as torture.
Okay, thanks for your concern.
I'm not gonna.
I'm paranoid now.
I promise I won't put my foot down.
That's it.
Tom, this is all for experimental reasons only.
Yeah, no, I get that.
That's crazy how fast that is.
The closest thing I can compare it to is being on like a roller coaster.
That's exactly what it's like, one of those magnetic roller coasters.
It just throws you into the back of your seat and you're gone.
You know, this whole process is much easier than you think. It's not like petrol where you just turn up to the gas station and you pump it and then you go. You've actually got to think about it and you've got to plan your day a little bit more. Putting this in is easy. We've been here for 20 minutes, grabbed a cup of coffee, did some emails, and we're already up to 80%. In fact, I just got a notification said that it's going to be complete in 1 minute. Well, how about that? That's pretty tasty. So it's just a different mindset. It's a different mindset to fuel. It's a different mindset to what we're used to, but for sure, it's a mindset that I could definitely get used to, but only because I live so close to a supercharging station. I think that makes a big difference to my purchasing decision with a Tesla, that's for sure. So, We are on a motorway in the UK and it's busy. So it's a pretty good opportunity to tell you about the self-driving, the autonomy that this car has about looking after itself. And it just defies everything that your brain is telling you. Now, we're in the UK, so we're not officially allowed to take our hands off the wheel, so we're not doing that. So we've got our hands on the wheel at all time, as you can see, but this car is effectively driving itself. So no feet are on any pedals. And apparently it's 4 times more intelligent than a human brain, which I can understand with me, my brain, but we got some pretty intelligent people around. But would you trust it to drive you autonomously a couple of 100 miles across country? I don't know. I personally, I wouldn't. But it is a phenomenal bit of technology. I really, really, really love this car. Whether I could have it is a different story, because this whole charging thing, are we ready for it? The guys at Tesla assure me that it's much, much easier than you realize, and you do get into the habit of doing it. And I guess when you have the official Tesla plug outside your own house, that will make life a lot easier, but you're very reliant without that on the supercharger network. I'm lucky there's one 10 miles away from my house, so for me it's nothing. But I guess when you live with the car on a daily basis, you are always going to have your own charger at your house. Otherwise it would be mission impossible. So from that aspect, I guess you can get 300 miles out of a single charge, so there shouldn't ever, in theory, be a problem, because wherever you go, you can link up with superchargers all over the country. So I understand what Tesla's saying, and we met someone yesterday at a supercharging station, and he took it down through the Alps, he took it to the Dordogne in France, he took it all over the place. He said it's no problem because you put your route in on the map, and then it'll work out where you need to stop along the way. And you know, if you're doing a long journey anyway, it's always nice to get out and stretch your legs and grab a coffee. So I guess it all sort of falls into place very nicely. Everything about the car is so intuitive and does it on its own. You carry the key, and like a lot of cars with keyless go, it just opens automatically, but it invites you even more. The door handles pop out and kind of just say, I know you're here, now you can get in and drive me. You got a big boot in the back, so we've got all our camera equipment in, and the trunk, the boot goes down even more down here, where you can get in some rear-facing seats as well, which I'm told are very comfortable. The back, so huge amounts of space for storage, and of course you've got the front as well. At the front you have some trunk space. There we go, double tap. Double tap is the key. So it's only relatively small, modest, but that's as good as a lot of supercars, and this is definitely supercar performance in here. You'll notice at the front as well, it hasn't got the grille, the faux radiator that the earlier cars had, so this is the facelift version as well. And I think the most refreshing thing about this car, I love speed and I love power and performance. And EV cars, electric vehicles, they kind of worry me a little bit. Where's it all going to go? Are we never going to have petrol and diesel engines again in the next 5, 10, 20 years? So for a performance junkie like me, it's very encouraging to know that you're still going to have the speed and the performance in cars, and they're only going to get faster, which is hard to believe, really.